Good morning, everyone, and welcome to PPM Express webinar. Today we'll talk about the bridging gap between Agile and Waterfall. Thank you for your time this morning. My name is Anton Kravtsov. I'm president of the PPM Express Corporation. So we are developer of the PPM Express, and PPM Express is a platform for project portfolio management for modern enterprises. So very quickly, companies are changing. Project management, as we know, is changing over time, and it's affecting everyone. It's affecting everything in it's affecting everyone in organizations. And companies implement digital transformation initiative. It goes for a while and impacts how companies manage projects. It impacts how companies manage their work. There are new tools, there are new approaches. There's change in the corporate culture for managing work, for managing projects. Right now, the work is pretty much everywhere. Everything is called project, and you don't have to be a formally trained project manager at this time to manage projects. You have small activities, small set of activities that you need to manage. Maybe it's a campaign, maybe it's part of your IT infrastructure, IT work. So it can be anything. And there are hundreds and thousands of different tools for work management, and they're very easily accessible since they're all in cloud, and you don't have to spend $1,000 and buying the servers and working with IT to deploy it. It can be very lightweight. What we found is that companies use and the teams use tools that fit their needs the most. Some teams say still want to use tools for predictive project management or waterfall. It can be like project. Teams use agile approach for managing their work. And reality is that there is a huge mix of all the approaches and the tools in our organization. Same time, with this wide range of uh, project management tools and approaches, there are still goals for organization. Organization need to see all the work. They need transparency. Employees require transparency, and everyone requires more visibility into their work. They want to know what their peers doing. They want to see how their work impact other teams when someone is available. Management needs all that information to make right decision timely. Uh, if we see the next slide, this is a statistic collected by PMI in 2018, and we see that Agile is used approximately in 23% of organizations. Predictive or waterfall is used in 47% of organization. And there's a hybrid model where you combine part of your schedule or work is managed both in agile style and predictive style. But what we see, it means that more than it's almost like 70% of organizations they use both approaches. It's a majority, and the reality is that agile is not related, it's not compatible, it's totally different with predictive project management approach. The tools are disconnected, and very often the work in the organization, if we see not just small group, it's managed side by side. And at the same time, in case of hybrid projects, same type of work can be managed in two systems because it's just different components of the same maybe project or program managed by different teams, but it's a one initiative. Companies facing the problem with that dispersed tools and multiple solutions. There is no single source of information. Very often dashboards, reports, they need to be combined manually because composed manually because there are multiple tools in place and multiple teams and people. There's no big picture for decision makers to see high level view of all the work. And very often, what we hear as a feedback is that for classical, for EPMO, and for we see that agile can be considered as a black hole. There's the work being done, they see the progress, but it's very hard for PMO to measure the progress and see the status. Are we on track? Are we late? Because it's different methodology. If task is not complete is one in one sprint, it just moves to another sprint, and there is it's a not a big deal for agile for iterative approach versus if a predictive approach, it breaks the schedules and it impacts the schedules, and it's a big no, or it's a change that needs to be tracked. Another statistic says that approximately only 35% of organizations use agile outside of IT, and the reason for that, first of all, it was created for it was meant for software development process. For first of principle, saying that like delivering working software, and same time, if we see on the IT side, approximately 85% of developers use Agile for managing their work because it's perfectly fits for IT and for software development organization. And there's a big confusion between the Agile PPM and organization agility, and companies are mixing that term. uh, what executives really see, they don't need to be, or they need organization agility. It's ability for organization quickly to adapt to change and not to implement agile in for every project management. And that's a very big miscommunication that happens in companies, or misunderstanding that exists on the market. Another slide, just quickly comparing the agile versus the predictable model and process. Well, if you go for agile, it is iteration-based approach. Teams have the freedom to experiment, and it stimulates innovation. It stimulates team to try new things, change the order of everything. And its focus, one of the first focuses is a customer satisfaction via frequent deliveries of working software. And again, like I want to stress that it's all about, very often, it's all about the working software. Companies can apply some of the elements of agile in iterating approach and delivering other things, but uh, originally it was designed for software. Agile approach is welcomes the changing requirements. It is okay when customer or product owner they come with new ideas and change requirements for new software. It's part of the change. Its ability to quickly to react to those change. It's a changing market requirements, customer requirements. It is okay, and it requires constant communication. Most effective teams who use agile, they use the best. It's use the face-to-face communication. It's nothing can replace that. It is the best approach to do it this way. And again, like as I mentioned, the best application and the highest adoption rate is in software development IT. If you go back to predictable model, or how we called before, it's waterfall. You have predictable schedule, you have predictable process, very highly defined. It's usually staged process. You have costs, you have budgets, you have a lot of the predictability of your projects, time and money. Very often there is like centralization of decision on like what's included. It's done initially. There is very often defined governance process and formal processes for change management, for risk management, for lessons learned, for tracking all the information, and it works very well for complex projects and project with long development cycles. Simply saying that you cannot build a bridge using the agile approach, like if the requirements are constantly changing. Uh, you cannot really compare to models. They just have the different applications for different types of projects or for different type of work, and that need it's not idea to replace waterfall completely with gel, because like it is impossible. And the beauty of waterfall is that it's universal and it can be used for pretty much all types of projects. Maybe it's not best sometimes to use a waterfall for some of the projects, but it can be used as well. So if we reiterate with this picture where you have teams using agile, teams using some modern lightweight task management or work management, where you have teams and departments using the waterfall, uh, management same time with that flexibility that companies give to teams. Management needs predictability. They need to see some milestones. They need to see some plans where they can commit to their customers, to investors. Same time, they want teams to be the most effective, and the teams are effective when they're self-organized and have more control to manage their work. Again, like as mentioned, there are two quite, I would call it incompatible methodologies, agile and waterfall. They coexist, but you cannot run agile projects on tools that do the waterfall or do the predictive that suited and built for predictive project management. Again, like different departments, we need different tools, different goals, different styles, different approaches. And big challenge, as mentioned, it's the big picture is missing. Companies are lacking visibility and transparency of the work, of all the work in different places. Another point, very often companies um, they have very complicated in innovation, employment, and engagement uh, problems. So they want employees to be able easily to submit ideas, to suggest change, to drive innovation, to be creative with ideas, with requests for change in organization. And because like all those changes, they transform organizations and they help organization to make better. And very often there are homegrown tools for that, or some spreadsheets, or very simple lists where the information can be tracked. And what we see that the process of ideation and engagement of employee into organization change and transformation, it is very very critical. So our answer today, Joran's webinar by a company called PPM Express, and that's why we want to show how our software is can help with addressing all those needs. First of all, the PPM Express, it's a cloud-based application. We built it uh, for main reason is that we identified that companies use multiple tools. They use multiple methodologies for managing projects, and we see anywhere from 1 to 5 different tools in different teams using for managing work. And what we try to say, like, okay, how we can build a solution that will help executives, that will help project managers, that will help PMO uh, to improve and get better control and better visibility into all the work being managed in organization. If we review kind of like key features of application, is that PPM Express is automatically aggregating the project information on different systems. So it connects to different systems like Microsoft Project Online, Azure DevOps, Microsoft Planner, or Jira. It gets information about the project and brings it to one place. So you can see that big picture of all the projects, their statuses, their progress, or their elements in one place. This becomes a single source of information, and system becomes a source of transparency for decision makers and for pretty much for every in the entire organization. If you decide to make it completely transparent, since you have all information in one place with all the details, you don't have to hunt for that information. You don't have to wait. You don't have to search for additional for project. You don't have to switch between the systems to find the details. It's all in one location. Uh, Companies need ability to track even for job projects. They want to be able to do the financial planning. They want to be able to prioritize their work. They want to be able to monitor the progress and be notified if some project became, they're in the critical state or at risk. They want to be able to see that information and create budget, enter budget, monitor budget. So it's we provide the functionality as well. We are rolling out some features around the prioritization, and uh, there will be insights for project insight and portfolio insight for decision makers. Uh, the idea that we focus on in PPM Express is if you are notified about some change in your project, the change of status or change of some deliverables or dates, you are ready to make a decision, and you can make corrective actions much faster compared to when you react on already a status and when you find out when it's too late. So we have a module for additional information about some uh, insights on the project management status, project status, and project progress. We integrate teams need tools for collaborate. So if the projects they don't exist separately, there are additional documents, artifacts. There is a channel. There is a tools for communication within team, and we support all that. PPM Express, we support all the standard approaches for IT project and non-IT project, since we can connect to both the predictive and agile systems, so we can bring all that information in one place. And the latest addition to our system is we have a module for idea management and innovation, and I will give a quick, I will provide a quick preview, couple screenshots to show how it looks and what it will do. Okay. Currently supported connectors. So we have connectors to Microsoft Project Online, Azure DevOps, Office 365 Planner. We work with Office 365 groups. We have connector to PSA, and we have connector to Jira. So all those systems, if you use one of those systems, you can bring information into PPM Express. We also support the file where this is the companies who don't have anything. They have Excel or PowerPoint. We support the functionality as well, but we recommend to use one of the cloud system to get that complete visibility and one single source of all the information. So very quickly, let's go to demo, and I will show how it works and what the PPM Express is, and um, how how it works. Very brief concept. So as you can see, the PPM Express, it's a web application, as I mentioned. You can access it from the browser. The URL is very simple: app.ppm.express. You can access it with Office 365 account. You can access it with your Gmail account if you use a G Suite, or even with your personal account. You can share system with external users, so you can add external users to your system. That means that, for example, you have a customer and you have a project, and you would like to give ability for your customer to see the progress of the project, and he's using the Gmail account. Absolutely, you can invite such people to assist. In PPM Express, we have two main modules. So first one is called portfolio. Second is a project. The project can be connected to one or multiple systems because we support the hybrid model, and I will show that. And the portfolio itself, it's a container for projects. So for example, if I go to my let's say R&D portfolio, I see summary of my projects, how many projects I have on track, at risk, critical, some key dates. I have statuses for my portfolio, and I have projects that are part of my portfolio. We can have for project, for portfolio, you can track additional custom fields and attributes. You can create budget, and system is highly configurable. So we have multiple sections that you can configure. For example, I can show me key dates and show me the budget. So, and immediately I will be able to see key dates here control, or if I go to budgets, there will be my budget for my portfolio. So you can create a high level budget for your portfolio as well. And in your portfolio, you can have a mix of project. For example, this project is managed. I know that it's managed in Azure DevOps and Project Online. This one in Azure DevOps. This can be managed in Project Online. So you can have combination of all working from different systems. If we go to back to our portfolio screen, we provide a three standard views. So it's tile view. We have a grid view or list view where you can see your portfolios with statuses, and you have a timeline view where you have a graphical representation of our portfolio. So if I open the same like R&D portfolio, I can see my timeline for my portfolio and timelines for my project. And if I needed one click, I can drill through. Couple elements on portfolio screen. We're trying to be proactive and show the problems where you like areas where you really need to spend time and pay some attention. Very simple. I have this portfolio information technology. It has 5 projects at risk. Uh, Next logical questions that we will ask: what are my projects? What is a project at risk? One click and you see the list of projects that are critical, and you can drill through and understand why that risk, and read the explanation or descriptions that provided by project manager. So all the information very easily accessible. If you go to one of our projects, for example, let's go to project. For example, I'll go here and select X5. Right now, I'm inside of the project. Uh, I have my timeline, and on the top, as you can see, this project has some work mentioned in Azure DevOps. It's the icon of Microsoft Azure DevOps and Microsoft Project. So if I want to see my schedule, one click, and I get to schedule PDP for my project. So I can immediately see it here. I want to see backlog for my project. Absolutely, I can get to my Azure DevOps. It will get me system will get me to a project, and I can see, for example, I can see the backlog. I can see the backlog for my project uh, here in Azure DevOps. We load the key dates. So key dates is your milestones or some important date for projects. You have the same component for portfolios where you can see that information, and we automatically brings that information from project online. So if you have milestones in project online, they'll show up here because it's some important dates. It's your key dates for your project, and the rest can be created manually. That maybe relates to Azure DevOps. From agile project for iterative project, we will bring all the iterations like you see here. And if I want to see the sprint, the information for a specific sprint, all that I have to do, I just have to click on the icon, and system will bring me the sprint task board where I can see all my work here. Standard components like details, it's your attributes and of projects. You have a schedule component where you see some information about the current iteration, how many Apex features you have, or in case of Microsoft project, we'll show just a high level summary outlined here that you can see. System provides lots of sections that we create. So we're saying that okay, PPM Express is a foundation for your project management process. There are some elements that still they're okay to track for both the agile and predictive project. For example, maybe change request, maybe action items, maybe some key decisions made. So we provide also a lot of those standard sections that you can enable for your project. Or you decide, okay, I want to have it as a lightweight, and I just want to keep the to very basic elements, and maybe hide that information, just track the key dates and maybe iteration, some definition of the system. So it's very configurable, highly configurable system. Another element that you see where we start being the more proactive in with your with PPM Express is we have a warning system for warnings where we show some insights about your project status and portfolio statuses. We find some inconsistencies, or we find some late elements. We will highlight, we'll put some warning signs there. For example, I go here and say like, project has late tasks. You know, you cannot be on track if you have late tasks. So system will already saying, and maybe as next step I will go to project online and I will see that the information tasks that are late, and maybe I will reschedule, will change my plan, or I will schedule some work, or I will go here and just say that okay, project is at risk. Uh, we have some late tasks. Or for example, if maybe it's critical because like it's really some conflicts, and system will immediately react to the change that you made. If you change the schedule, it will recalculate the schedule and will resynchronize data. Those notifications will go away. And we check for multiple. We check for key dates, for late tasks, for risk issues, for status. So there are multiple checks built in into the system, because what we're trying to optimize experience for executives, portfolio managers, PM more, to make sure that they don't scroll in hundreds of projects, that they just see where they have some issues, where they need to spend time, where they teams need their help to make some corrective actions with a project. So it's all embedded. It's part of the system, as you can see, kind of like it's all turns on, turns off automatically. This project is a typical example of hybrid project. We see project online, we see Azure DevOps, and you can bring additional elements here. If you want to talk about the collaboration, is we have integration with Microsoft Teams. So we have an app for Microsoft Teams where you can embed the project to add a sheet to your channel, and embed the project screen. So, for example, here you have your conversation with team. Maybe it's your project. You have files. You have wiki. You have maybe your Azure DevOps backlog here, and you have project interface, project information from PPM Express enabled here. So you don't you don't have to in modern days, you don't need to search for that information. It should be available just in one click of the mouse immediately here for very quick access for everyone, for every team member, for sponsors, for executives, everywhere. We're also rolling out some features in next couple weeks, where the system will notify. You can enable specific integration with Microsoft Teams, where a system will notify you if you have late tasks, if you have late key days, if your status changed. The system will be proactively providing the information. It will be posting some updates to your project channel, so the project managers can see. And again, like our goal is to make sure that project managers and executives, they don't have to hunt for information. They don't need to search for information. If tasks getting late, it means that schedules are not updated, information is outdated, or there are real problem. Then some elements are late, and someone needs to take action. And PPM Express provide all that information. And again, like it doesn't matter where the project is. Is it in Azure DevOps or in Jira, or it's in Project Online, it's in Planner. If you have some delays, it means that you have delays. If you have missed dates, it means that you have some missed dates, and system will identify those dates and will show them up here in the system. So again, as you can see, we are not with PPM Express. Why we're saying that we're closing that gap uh, between agile and predictive waterfall project. We are not trying to say that you need to use Microsoft Project Manager for manage your agile project. Or we are not saying that you need to switch completely to Jira or to Azure DevOps or to Rally software to manage all their work. We're saying no, your teams need to use the different tools. PPM Express aggregates that information from different tools and provides insights into the project, provides a common approach for managing project. It provides, even for agile project, it provides some level of predictability, budgeting, delivery dates that you can commit and that you can monitor, and that's what the management is asking for. If you go back to our presentation, I want to show one screenshot that we are very soon rolling out. So we are rolling out in November. It will be just like in a couple of weeks. There will be a module called idea management in PPM Express, and this module will allow everyone to create to submit their ideas for improvement. Uh, Company will be able to identify, we call like opportunities, or business, we call them business challenges. It can be your challenges within, like, for example, improvement of specific product, or uh, change in infrastructure, or process management, or maybe customer satisfaction. So any areas that you can define where you would like to get some feedback from your team, and every one organization will be able to submit their ideas. They will be voting. There is an integration with Microsoft Teams, and at the end there is a like selection and prioritization for those projects. So we deploy a module with strategic alignment, strategic priorities, where you will be able to rate or grade your ideas against the strategic priorities, and use that information for selection. Uh, it's becoming available November 2019. It will be available for everyone, so everyone organization who has license will be able to submit ideas, vote on the ideas, use ideas. The idea why we do that is that we see it's not just platform for monitoring projects. There is an intake process. There is a need for companies to be able, and employees to be able, to participate and to suggest ideas, and to be more organization to be more open and inviting for every organization to submit change and new ideas. And that's our solution for that. And that would be a full cycle. So it means that, for example, you have a business challenge. Let's say that, okay, let's see what else we can do in PPM Express, and maybe five team members will submit some ideas. I will pick one idea, and what I can do as next step, after voting, after prioritization, I can create a project in PPM Express and create a project, for example, Microsoft Planner. So that would be a complete cycle from identification of idea to creation to completely creating a project in your project execution system. Uh, so, a summary, why we see the PPM Express close the gaps. It's definitely if it's consolidates that predictive and agile portfolio project management. It provides that high level portfolio management and overview capabilities. Uh, our customers love PPM Express because it's visual. It's not overloaded with grids with lots of information. It provides a nice interface for that, and it's critical. It's critical. It provides the insights into where you need to spend time. It optimizes time for executives, for project manager, for portfolio managers, that you can see. It provides those portfolio management capabilities for that is missing in Azure DevOps, in Jira, and Planner. That if you have multiple projects, you need to have some portfolio management capabilities, and we provide it. It's highly configurable. We see customers who customize system, configure system very very highly. They create custom fields, leads, everything. Or we have customers who just maybe they tune up couple views and they use the system as is. So we support both scenarios. And what is important, we support the hybrid projects. It's highly demanded by multiple customers that think we have different parts of workbench and different system. We need to have support for that, and PPM Express provides support for the application. As I mentioned, right now we support the standard connectors like Project Online, DevOps, Jira, Planner, Office 365. We will be rolling out this connector to project for the web. It's a new Microsoft starting rolling out some new version of project for the web. So we will be supporting that, and next year we'll be adding smart sheets, and Asana into PPM Express, so you can manage all the projects. Okay. Um, Thank you for your time. It was webinar by PPM Express, bridging the gap between the Agile and Waterfall. If you have any questions, I would be more than happy to provide some information. I don't see any questions. So there is a recording of this webinar. It will be shared afterwards. So, and if you have any questions, please feel free reach out, and you can start using the PPM Express anytime from our website. Thank you and have a great day.